We got this phrase from a creationist named Dwayne Gish, who was famous for doing what we call the Gish Gallop. And that's asking a whole bunch of questions without really being interested in getting the answer. We would never consider a person who does something like that a good person.
Okay, so what is the sun made out of then?
I know that God is very powerful. That's the case? Oh, pardon me?
Why do you think it's the case that we can't look at the sun without...
Oh, no, I meant without going blind. I was just inferring that it's very powerful, and I'm really impressed by what the Creator was able to do.
So what was it made out of? What is the sun made out of?
Well, some people... from my research,
why is heat coming from the sun? Does it have anything to do with the radiation between us and the sun? Where does the radiation come from? How did it form? You know what I mean?
Yeah, these are great questions.
If we're not orbiting the sun, then what lights are we looking at that we're calling Venus and Mercury? Like, what are we looking at?
Okay, so do you believe that
the Earth is spinning?
No, deniable.
How do you explain the phases of the moon? Since the Earth isn't moving, it isn't tilted, it's not spinning, and the moon and the moon being a light source and the sun being a light source is going around the Earth.
We got this phrase from a creationist named Dwayne Gish, who was famous for doing what we call the Gish Gallop. And that's asking a whole bunch of questions without really being interested in getting the answer. We would never consider a person who does something like that a good person.
It's okay.
So
yeah.
Now, how do you explain the 4 phases of the moon around the Earth? And you're telling me that the phases of the moon is like that because God said it was like that?
Oh yeah. It's really well put together.
So the lights just cut off, like most of the time, like when it's a half a moon or when it's a crescent moon. You're telling me that happens because of the seasons?
Oh no.
The light on the moon decides to cut off some of the light and some of the light stays on?
No, I believe.
Have you ever looked at the moon through a telescope?
I have, yes.
Okay. Have you ever looked at the moon through a telescope when the moon is full?
I have, yes. With the
have you done it when it's a half a moon?
Yes. It's actually not really half a moon.
And have you done it when it's a crescent?
No, I don't believe I have.
When you looked at the telescope, what did you see when you saw it when it was a half a moon? What did you see?
Honestly, Gman, the last time I can recall is when it was more full. I don't remember too much, so forgive me for misspeaking there, please.
No. You looked through a telescope and you looked at the moon, right? And you looked at it when it was a half a moon. What did you see? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, great. Maybe it's recharging. That is one theory.
How does a light recharge?
We got this phrase from a creationist named Dwayne Gish, who was famous for doing what we call the Gish Gallop. And that's asking a whole bunch of questions without really being interested in getting the answer. We would never consider a person who does something like that a good person.
Show me the Bible verse where it says that the moon would control itself and cut itself off during certain seasons.
Oh, no, I wouldn't be able to show you that, Gman. In Canada alone, there's 88,000 flat earthers. And that's
wait a minute. There's 88,000 flat earthers in Canada?
Right now. And those are the only people that downloaded the app. So
out of them 88,000, does any of them know what the moon is made out of? Any of them? What about gravity?
So the term gravity, no, yes, it's been called
gravity on the Earth.
Yeah, it's the weak force.
What's pulling me down? If I jump and I go at least 2 feet in the air when I'm jumping, how much electricity am I causing, according to the flat Earth model?
Well,
we got this phrase from a creationist named Dwayne Gish, who was famous for doing what we call the Gish Gallop. And that's asking a whole bunch of questions without really being interested in getting the answer. We would never consider a person who does something like that a good person.
So you're saying that the Bible denies gravity. Are people just flat earthers because they just stop trusting scientists because of these evolutionists or whatever? How has gravity been proven false?
Well,
how has gravity been disproven?